then there's still other things like archibacteria, which are like their own thing, which honestly I don't remember that much. I have it in my notes, but whatever. Archibacteria for the most part don't matter. They're like 0.1% of all living things on Earth, while the other two are like 99.999.
Those are like the ones that are only found in like
volcanoes
places
and
people
Antarctica.
definitely
Can I just say
can't go.
something about
Yeah.
that real quick? And I will let you guys keep going. This is important. Nothing in this world is by mistake. So even with the worst thing ever where people will be like, oh my God, well, we don't think God created AIDS, but for argument's sake, let's just say God created AIDS. Oh my God, why would God create something as terrible as AIDS? Well, there is no such thing in nature. Everything was meant for something. And they found out that AIDS kills cancer cells. That we know. So you're talking about these bacteria that do nothing? That just means they haven't
No,
found
I
its
just
Not like
purpose
do
yet.
nothing, just as in like
I don't know what they do.
Well, but I'm just saying that whenever you hear somebody say that these things exist for no reason,
Yeah, and
No,
like
they don't.
science,
that's when you
they
start
say-
want to like
when
paying
somebody
attention.
says, don't worry about these, they do nothing. What I hear is they're not important for what we're talking about scientifically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like they're
Because
still important for like mineral formation from volcanoes and shit.
Gotcha.
And like, and they're the reason why they're part of the reason why when volcanoes erupt and people farm and stuff,
Mhm.
that's the archibacteria decaying, right?
Mm.
That's what makes it the minerals as well, but also that adds nitrogen, so that's why there's
Okay.
nitrogen in there. But for the purpose of this, they don't really matter,
Yeah.
except for these specific archibacteria, which like they're technically archibacteria, but there might be a new fourth version, which is these guys. They're not carbon based at all. They're like silica based, because they developed an organ that, or an organelle somehow that like digests things through silica. So they're like aliens basically.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand this because I learned nothing about that in
So, like,
science.
Because
You
it
know how
only
like
existed
carbon
a
is
year
like
ago.
the basis of
Yeah, I
life?
know what carbon is, and I see it in. I see
Like,
the chemical
An entire
chain.
different type of chemistry dedicated to just the study of carbon, organic chemistry, because it's the building block
Do
of
it to me
life
this
forms.
way. Okay, this is how I need you to explain it to me. Because right now, when you talk about carbon, automatically I see the chain. So how would you see that for silicone? Like in chemistry, visual, how would you have silicone?
Let me look.
Like the actual chemical structure of silicon.
Like the carbons, the high, yes, the
shit.
structure. What would it look like?
I literally don't know.
That
Let me look,
that's
let me look.
interesting. I see that, and I can visualize what a silicone is.
Okay, well, show me products. That's not what I wanted.
That's right. I'll look it up later. Keep talking.
So it's basically like it eats things like plastic and shit.
Right.
Like it eats garbage.
So it had to be man-made.
No, it's not.
No,
you know. Oh,
it's,
look at that. SI instead of the C.
Yeah, they found it in some weird fuck ass.
So it's still carbon shaped. It's just a silica instead of a C.
Yeah.
basically?
So it's like it's like made of completely different stuff, but it looks the exact same. It's like estrogen and phytoestrogen. Like
Okay.
they work completely different, but they look the exact same
Right.
because they're just made of different shit.
That's
And it's
crazy.
This is just a whole new thing that has literally never existed in the history of life ever. That we just have now.
So now what are they doing with this silicone bacteria?
They're kind of just
Figuring out
they're
what
kind of
it
just
is.
fucking with it, seeing like how did you come to exist?
Because like
Where did they
literally,
find it?
carbon is
I don't
like
remember.
the basis of like our whole understanding of how like life
No, I
came
know.
to be.
Yeah.
So this literally changes
What life
everything
is.
about what we understand
know.
about how life came to
It
be.
completely is
This
going
cha-
to
this
read.
changes religion, science, fucking everything.
Just casually living at a time period, like, because like for until like the 1600s, it was like every couple hundred years people would be like, oh, the sun's not the center of the world. My bad, guys.
You know,
And that
you
was,
know
like,
what
a
I'm going to be
rarity.
doing now? I'm going
And
to be
you were like-
obsessively researching this tonight.
Yeah.
I know
And we're
everything
like-
about it by tomorrow morning.
You would have been lucky to have lived in a time where it's like, oh, it's the water making people sick, you know, because those were like rare discoveries. And now we're living at a time where it's like global pandemic last year, this year our entire idea of life is uprooted. Tomorrow aliens, you know, like we just have like
Fastest Category 5 hurricane ever found.
we're
just
simultaneously the
happens.
luckiest and unluckiest people to ever be alive because we're here for all of these like insane discoveries that we would have been locked the fuck up. We would have been locked up in Bedlam in the 1800s if we told them about carbon and silica.
If we told them about what silica even is, they would say, "What?"
Literally.
They're like, "What the fuck is a plastic? It's in your blood. You're getting put to death."
I got to look up now where they found